You know that famous saying about Rolex for £5,000 and the Timex, the watch, for £500? They both do exactly the same thing. They tell you what time it is. And the price difference is massive, right? But the product does exactly the same thing. And that is a perception. We are living in invisible bubbles. Each one of us, each one of you guys, especially if you're an immigrant or you have an immigrant background, there's a bubble around us which we can't see, and therefore we can't pierce it. We can't pop the bubble because we don't know about this until we manage to get out of it. Then we'll see, oh, there was a bubble all that time. You see, I came to England to pay back my dad for failed business. So I had to start from very, very much from the beginning. And I always believed that there is more for me in life. I kind of believed in myself that I could be whatever I wanted to, like within reason, right? But I was never fully committed. So you see, when I moved to a new country, the only goal was to pay off the debt. So I started doing different work. I started as a bicycle courier for 3 years. And then I decided to move up a little bit, right, in the hierarchy of life. And I moved to work in the office. And it was nothing fancy. It was very basic work, answering phone calls, basic salary. But I remember working there. I was thinking, oh, it would be so nice if one day I can be a manager. And that was my bubble. That was my perception trap. You see, I was listening this video the other day, a couple of days ago, political commentary about Poland. Something, because my mom was here, like we're talking about something. Like, I'm not much into politics. I know what's going on, but I don't watch it that much. But I was listening to that particular video, and this guy was talking about this, particular situation now, and geopolitically, how dangerous it is, and he pointed out that political elites in Poland don't know what's going on, and I realized actually they're running left and right, really afraid of everything. They know what to do. They're trying different approach, and what they actually are afraid of, what it looked to me like, is they're afraid of being left alone. All the countries, America, whatever, they're turning their back to Poland, and now Polish leaders are like, oh, what do you do? What do we do next? Who should we look for protection? They're looking for somebody else. They always have. And I've realized this was kind of my Polish environment I grew up in. This is what my family unconsciously maybe, and teachers put into my head. That's how they built my perception bubble around me. I became this, I could do on my own, but it's safer to do, not to go too high, right? It's better to have somebody stronger around you, somebody who can protect you, etc. About 2 months ago, I was abroad on a business stay, and there was a guy from Netherlands, and we had a chat about different approach for business, and we talked about Netherlands. And Netherlands, as you guys probably know, is a very tiny, small country. But I've learned that there's many huge businesses in Netherlands making tons of money. Huge business deals going through Netherlands, and even some people not from Netherlands on our business stay. They said that people from Netherlands, the Dutch people, they're very tough negotiators and they're very good in business. And that was their bubble, right? That was bubble put around them, at least from us outsiders looking at it. And I was like thinking, why is it like small Netherlands can be so successful and tough and have a good name for the business, where in Poland it's completely different, right? Not so good. And then I thought about my life, and I thought about all of these things, and it all came to conclusion to me where I actually realized it's all about perception and what we're being told as a little kids, as our parents, teachers, peers, family, people around us, consciously and unconsciously tell us what we should think about ourselves, what we can think about ourselves, what we should do, where should we aim, what's expected, etc. I'm sure if you're an immigrant of an immigrant background, you can relate to it. If you move to a different country, suddenly everything is different until you go down to the area where your local, people from your country live. Suddenly it feels more home. And then you spend some time around it, and then you realize this, like, it's just everything like slows down, and it's just people getting stuck there on their own because it's their own choice. You see, when I built and became successful in business, I realized that the perception is in your head. That is a trap. When I was finally allowed to move out of London and settle down in a really nice place where I wanted to live, where I was able to actually provide for my family, where my wife can be stay-at-home mom. She doesn't have to go to work for another man. And I can afford to have 3 kids and run a family and have a decent life. I've realized that the perception is fake. That what we thought about ourselves, what I thought about ourselves, my limitations were completely fake, based on nothing apart from belief from previous generations. You see, when you start being successful in business, and when you actually move out of these miserable locations and staying around people who are always down and toxic, you open the bubble bursts, first of all, right? And then it's like, whoa, hang on. So I can actually speak to you with my accent and you're not going to judge me. I can actually go and live next door to you and you're not going to judge me. I can do all these things. I can actually apply for contracts, jobs, whatever that is, career, build relationship, meaningful, real relationships, not based on what I can give you, what you give me. And the answer is yes. And I realize this thanks to entrepreneurship. And I really try, like, I wish there's a way of sharing that message more easily across all platforms, where people realize, like, it's not cringy thing like what you think you become or everything. It's an actual real trap. What you think about yourself, you'll become, and others will see it. But people will also see that when you move out, that they will see you for who you are. And of course, it takes lots of time, energy, hard work to achieve anything. We all agree on that, right? I don't have to explain this. But in order to do anything, first you need to decide that you want. Because you see, if you look around you, as you're getting older, and I am almost 40, this is the time when you kind of becoming more nostalgic about life. You look at things, right? Because if you have family, this is the time when you actually contemplate life more. And as I'm getting older, I look at all my friends who are just basically doing what they've been doing over the last 10 years. And I see how stuck they are and how unhappy they become, how sad. Just like, it's not about constant happiness, but it's about satisfaction in life, And if you're being stuck in your job you hate, the place you don't like, you're not making enough money to actually even have some decent life, and it's getting harder and harder. Until you realize there is this invisible bubble around you, which only you can pop, and you can only pop that bubble by changing your perception about yourself. You're going to stay there. And I would be very worried about myself that the older you get, the more sour you become, right? And then you have all these elder people, living on their own and just being annoying to everyone else, right? And that's them. That's how I see it. And now there's also this push towards like independence and doing whatever we want. And if you combine all this, not having family, not having responsibilities, and just being this free spirit, thinking the life is going to go somehow, then it's probably going to end up really bad. And the sooner we realize that, I think the bigger chance that we can actually get out of it. And not everybody has to be an entrepreneur. There's not about this. Everybody can try. And I bet many of you could succeed. And we're not talking about like being Elon Musk size of it's like, the best businesses, millions of money. It's like, no, we're talking about like, how about we build side gig? How about what you do for money for somebody else? You start doing on site so you can actually have 2 streams of income. So you can actually go a little bit, maybe travel without compromising your life quality. Maybe do something more, maybe just go different restaurants, different places, meet different people, move to a different location. These are small things, but they make huge difference in your life. And until you try to do it, you'll never understand it. You'll always be this sad guy looking from the other side and judging others. And the bubble will be around you. The perception trap will keep you in forever. So I wanted to encourage you, because this channel is non-native entrepreneur. So I'm an immigrant entrepreneur, and as much as it's about business, but there's also a lot about mental attitude, how we see ourselves, how we perceive ourselves, because we have a lot of problems as immigrants. There's a huge chip on our shoulder, right? We feel worse, we feel inferior, etc., etc. So it's very important to address these. But again, I've made the mistake of I thought I need to do things in order for them to kind of like diminish, dismiss even. But that wasn't true. I actually had to start building my own success in order for this chip on the shoulder becoming smaller, and not in others people's eyes, but in my own eyes. It was there all the way because I thought it's there. A bubble was around because I believe there is a bubble. And the only way, again, to get yourself out of this fake mental state is to actually start doing something which is hard, building your life, building some sort of success. And it doesn't have to be financial success, although it helps. Some sort of, stop avoiding the hardship, to take responsibility, to take some pain, because the pain will come your way, either you like it or not. You can choose which way you want it to come, which is, I suppose, a little bit good news. So think about this. I think the conclusion I would leave you with is, if you have this little, the little something in your head telling you, oh, I wish I started early. I wish I've done something. I'm almost 40, I'm almost 30, whatever. It's like, that is the time. That time is for you now. You're ready. That maybe you were not ready before. And if you worry that you might not be ready because you're too old or something, you should have choose different way in your life, there is no going back. That's one thing. And there's no good or wrong. It's just life. We all live our lives and we die. And 2 generations later, people don't even remember us. So just try now, and don't go all in. I'm not thinking quit your job, but embrace the fear of being judged by others like you who don't do anything. Embrace the fear of actually becoming a bit more, and one day popping the bubble, and you will realize one day that's like, how could I even live like this? Everybody can do it, I believe, or at least can try. And this life is going to be maybe not easier, but it's different. It's not about easy life. Also, I think this is a myth. Life is not about to be easy or happiness. None of it. That's nonsense. That's for teenagers. Teenagers don't watch my channel. So I tell you this. Embrace it. Look into it. Look into yourself and decide and try. Just try. There's nothing you can lose. Nothing. Just try to take more risk, fear. Embrace, move, do something different. You figure out. If you like this video, please give me a like, consider subscribing, consider opening your own business. I'm joking. Leave me a comment if you want. Thanks so much for your time, for your support. I'll be seeing you soon. Cheers.